Hi, in that video I would like to show you how to convert a Bose wave music system to be useful in Europe once you bought it in the United States. So in other words, I'm converting that unit from 110 volt power grid to a 220 volt power grid. So those Bose systems are quite cheap in the United States, but they're very expensive here in Europe. So what most people do, they go to the US on a business trip or on holiday, they buy those units and then they bring them home and then they want to plug them in and they figure out that this is not working, and you can't just have a small switch on the back that you flip and then it would operate on both voltages. So those units are designed for either 110 volts or 220 volts. So what most people do is they're then also buying those kind of up and down converter units. So this is a step up, step down converter where you could get 220 volts in and get 110 out to use the American unit. The problem with those are, they cost money as well, and they're always on if you want to run the unit, which means it's not very energy efficient because they're consuming quite a lot themselves. Some other people are using these 50 to 70 watts treble transformers that you can buy for converting voltages when you're on travel. They are getting hot. They are a security risk, so don't use them at all. You might burn up your house without knowing it. So I thought this is all clumsy, so I will try to convert that unit myself. So what I did is I just opened the screws on the bottom of the unit, so there is a couple of screws down there that you can easily just open with a screwdriver. And then on the back of the unit, on this side here, you will see, you can just see it shining through, you will see a transformer sitting, which looks like this. Most cases it says billion, let me see if I can zoom, billion, and that's a 120 volts in, which means that's an American unit. And then you see on the secondary side, 110 in, you see 6 volt AC out 2 times and 1.9 volt AC out, with different current ratings here. So in a US unit you will find that transformer. In a European unit you will find something that looks exactly the same, but will have 230 volts in or 220 volts in, and then it has 5.4 volts here and 1.9 volt here. So I was searching for that spare part to buy a 220 volt transformer, and I found one company which is selling those, and they're in Canada. They're called Thermal TV Parts Store, and you see that I bought one of those Boses. You also see the number, and it's an $80 part, 80 American dollars. So that kind of transformer has exactly the same form factor. It's called SK Shanghai, it says here, it doesn't say billion. But it has basically the same ratings besides the 5.4 volts instead of the 6 volts, which is not making troubles. It also has the same 2 connectors. That one is exactly the same, so that one you just plug in where you have unplugged that one. And that one here is also very close to being equal. It has the same pin assignment, 2 blue ones, the gray one, the brown one. Looks exactly the same. It was just a little broader on the side, so there was one kind of a lip more here, so that I just cut off with a Stanley knife, and then I just could plug it into the socket. And with that one in, I just then put the hood on again, and as you can see, it's coming up, and I can run it, so it's full functional, and it's working on a 230 volt system now. This was the old cable, which has the American plug on it, so either you take that plug off and you take European plug on, or in my case that kind of connectors are quite common at TV and hi-fi products, so if you find that cable somewhere you can also use it. In my case I just took a black cable that has that connector on the back side, which has the European plug. So with that one, and I think it's not too much money, it's basically 60 euros that I paid for the transformer. You're making a American unit which you buy for 600 euros or 700 euros oh sorry, American unit that you buy for maybe 300 euros. You make this into a European unit that you buy for 800 euros. So I think, yeah, it's a good deal. Bye.